Welcome to Musician Transformation. I am Jermaine Griggs, the founder of HearAndPlay.com. I will be joined by JP shortly. He's just over there at the computer, making sure our transition was good. You were watching the movie not the bloopers, I got that later. You're watching the movie trailer for Musician Transformation, just something different. We just wanted to have fun. So, we got a couple cameras and ran around the forest. But the point of that was, it's real. If you've ever asked for help from a seasoned musician that had the scarcity mindset, oftentimes those types of musicians don't like to see resources like this, helping people, helping masses, and they truly feel that they had to do it on their own at some point. And why, should I just hand it over to you? Because I had to learn it before there was a YouTube, before there was a Hear and Play, before there was software and technology. I had to learn it. Why not you? So we just wanted to capture that character, and we did it through Brian. If you've ever called, in fact, I'll invite you to call now if you want to talk to Brian, the bad guy in the movie. He's a really good guy if you've ever talked to him, but he characterized that person for us. And so we're just so glad to be here. If you guys can hear me, why don't you just put in the chat room where you're from, where you are logging in from. I know we've got several countries represented here. We only have like 250 seats for this event, so we're getting close to maxing that out. So don't leave, because if you come back to this page, you might not be able to participate in everything. But just let us know where you are calling or you're logging in from, so that I can give you a shout out here. It is a little behind here, but once I start seeing them come in the chat room, I'll call them out. But welcome. This is just a Q&A. This is for us to answer your questions. We are live right now. So if I see people in the chat room all day saying, I want to reserve my copy, well, doing it in the chat room doesn't do much. You got to click that blue button that's on this page. Click it right now. It should take you over to the shopping cart, and you can just pay for the shipping and choose your username for the Gospel Music Training Center, and that's all you got to do. Oh, I got some names coming in. ATL, Kentucky, Birmingham, North Carolina, Burlington, Connecticut, Augusta, Georgia, San Jacinto, California, Pittsburgh, Michigan, Stockton, California, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Someone said, I ain't going nowhere. Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, Miami, Cincinnati, Ohio, Connecticut, Dave Santiago, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. So you guys are coming from everywhere. Hartford, Memphis, Tennessee, Oracle, Arizona, Dwight Sibley's, New York City, Boston, Milwaukee, Jackson, Mississippi, Norfolk, Virginia. I bet if I keep going, I would have read all 50 states. And I know there's some folks overseas here too. Petersburg, Florida. Yep, there we go. Kyoto, Japan. Onamewa, Jermaine des. I don't even know. Konnichiwa. I took Japanese a little bit, but I forgot. Augusta, Georgia, Little Rock, Toronto, Lebanon. Wow, welcome. I'm just humbled always when we do these kinds of events, just to see how we bring people together from all over the world. So first things first, call us. I've got operators standing by. I've got people, working overtime for you. So the number is on the lower part of this screen. Call us if you don't want to do it online. Obviously, online is the easiest way to reserve your copy of Musician Transformation. Don't worry, I'll be talking about it, what it entails, the Gospel Music Training Center and all that stuff. But someone says they don't hear anyone. Y'all got to be hearing me, because you wouldn't have known to put in where you're from, and I see this all over the place. So maybe it's audio, and if you don't hear me, you don't even hear me giving you instructions right now. But you want to call us. Give us a call, 1-877-856-4187, and reserve this. There's only 600 copies of this. I didn't even order a new batch. I took what we had in inventory. We were going to release this a year ago, truth, and we never did. I had ordered 1,000 copies. That's usually the minimum. And I did some stuff on Black Friday, mentioned it a little bit, sold a few hundred copies, gave away a couple hundred copies. And so when we started this promotion, we were already down to 600. That's what we had to work with. Today we did the pre-order and we did the early bird, and our existing members log into Gospel Music Center, go to my account, and you'll see the link right there on the right side. So that's for existing Gospel Music Training Center members. That's what you do. Log in, go to my account, and you'll see it right there on the right side. But when you add in all of that, we're down to under 400, easily under 400. I think more like 365 or something. So I would say if you really enjoyed videos 1 and 2, me talking about the circle of fifths, right? And the power of it. And JP will be joining us. I think, I don't know what he's waiting for. Are we good? We good? Yeah, JP will be joining us very shortly. In fact, I'll give him an introduction. Since this seat is empty, I'm gonna give him a formal introduction. But video 1, we were talking about the circle of fifths. Video 2, we continued that by talking about the relationship between primary chords and secondary chords. Video 3, JP came on and gave you a wonderful exercise to use the circle of fifths to practice your chords, to reinforce them and all the inversions. And then obviously video 4, we had fun. You guys just saw the movie trailer. So if you enjoyed that series, and that's just like the icing on the cake, right? Imagine what you're gonna get from 12 discs. It's 9 hours long, it's 5 parts, and it pretty much covers the song learning process from the perspective of playing by ear. I was at a birthday party, as with 3 kids, I'm at one every weekend. And let me formally introduce you though. Well, okay. Well, no, have a seat. We're live, folks. But let me just tell this quick story. I was at and a mom asked me what I do, and they find out about Hear and Play. And oftentimes it's, I used to read sheet music. I can't remember anything. And I really would have benefited from understanding what I was playing. Like we were talking about, major chords and minor chords, and she didn't know any of that because sheet music prepared her to read what was on the paper, but not to just know how it worked. So one of our big things here, playing by ear is not this like mystical secret thing, something just falls in the sky and hits your brain. Now, some people are born with the gift. In terms of perfect pitch, 1 in 10,000 people. That's not even what I'm talking about. Perfect pitch doesn't help you to sit down and play a song. All it does is help you to know that like notes are off, like that's a C, and oh man, it's bothering me that note is flat. Like people are more annoyed with their perfect pitch if they don't harness it and combine it with relative pitch to actually learn how to play something. You still gotta have the knowledge to play. You gotta know your scales and your chords and your number systems and your progressions and how all those things work together. So I always say playing by ear is like 50% knowledge. You got to still know the stuff, like the stuff that I'm talking about here. And some people don't know it, but they still have a system in their brain. Like they still have a system in their brain that translates whatever they're doing into real knowledge. Like they still have a system. And then we come along and we teach people how to identify what they're doing. Like, even if you've been playing for years, like that's called a major chord, that's called a minor chord. Here's how progressions work. Here's how the number system works. So we put names and titles and we make sense of that theory and stuff like that. But the other half of playing by ear is the ear training side of it. So yeah, you have to be able to know that, okay, I know my major chords, I know my major sevenths, but you have to train your ear to recognize what a major chord sounds like. Major chords will sound happy. Major 7 chords will sound jazzy. Minor chords will sound serious and sad. Diminished chords will sound scary. And then you train yourself, hey, what's up, Milan? You train yourself on how the chords go from one to the other. And so we have programs, our pitch ear training software. So it's when you combine these two things, you get this phenomena playing by ear. And guys like JP, myself, we've been playing for years. It seems like it's easy, but it's really that collision between that pre-existing knowledge and that ear training. And so through this program, right, 9 discs, 12 discs, 9 hours, we equip you with that pre-existing knowledge. And through our pitch software, which you get as the member of the Gospel Music Training Center, 800 exercises, that gets you that ear, just hammering the notes and the intervals and the chords and the progressions. All right, so I know JP is, He's doing some things at the computer, but I'm gonna introduce him. JP is a professor of fatness. He's celebrating his 10th year here with the company. 10 years that I actually met JP 12 years ago, but 10 years working with Hear and Play. He's the director of the Gospel Music Training Center. He is the author of Gospel Key 600. He's pretty much our go-to guy for all things media and things here. And most importantly, he's my co-instructor in musician transformation. You enjoyed him in video number 3. So put your virtual hands together for JP. Here he comes. He's about to sit down, folks. Your lives will never be the same. JP, man, good to have you here.
Glad to be
He's
here,
spiffy
man.
tonight too, you know. I wasn't gonna wear a jacket.
Trying to be on the same level as you, man. Let me know if you guys can hear me, because I didn't really get a good sound check.
Yeah.
You guys can hear me pretty good.
Do you hear him on the levels, Chris, when he's talking alone?
Oh, that's some headphones right there, Chris. Take them out.
Yep. And want to give a shout out to Chris. Chris got some guests here. You guys can't see him. Milan, you know, it's a team that makes this, you know, happen. So Dr. Green is here in the house. All right, well, pleasure to have you, sir. And so we're gonna continue. So we've got questions from you guys, and I'm just gonna kind of go and see what you guys are talking about here. But yes, again, I see some people talking about if you're an existing member, yeah, you want to log in. And order at the My Account section. But if you're not an existing member, what are you waiting for? You got to click the blue button and add to cart. JP.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell us a little bit about your perspective with musician transformation and, you know, being a seasoned musician that you are, having, you know, access, you got friends that are at every stage of playing. You got professional friends, but you also got friends that, you know, just getting started.
Yeah.
Like, what does musician transformation do for someone that's really trying to get to the next level?
I think that musicians transformation bridges the gap from the beginning stages all the way to just the full understanding of music theory. A lot of times when different musicians think about music theory, you think that it's very hard. You think that it's something that, you know, you have to really be smart to be able to understand. And we make it very simple for you, because through the School of Hard Knocks, how we learn how to play the piano, it actually took us a little bit longer to pick up on some of these concepts. But as we learn how to play by ear first and then studied music theory and everything, we tend to bridge the School of Hard Knocks way with the theoretical way. And we came up with a lot of systematic approaches to teach you how to play piano by ear. So from my perspective, I wish I had something like this when I started playing, because I learned at a pretty fast rate, but with tools like this, I believe that it's going to take your playing to the next level a lot faster, because we came up with a lot of systematic approaches to teach you how to play piano. So it's going to make it a lot easier for you.
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely. Harold, or anybody having a problem with multiple voices speaking, it's probably because you got multiple windows open. I just checked it, and it's loud and clear. But like say earlier, you clicked on the order button and it took you to that page that said, oh, we're not ready yet. And it also had the live video on it. You probably got that in the background. You probably got this window. So I'd go through, clean out the windows. And because everybody else, you guys let us know if it's loud and clear, especially our voices between me and JP. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so with that said, I want to first, I want to go to some of the people who have taken advantage of it, and I want to give you guys some shout outs, because we're already at a good number, and I don't even know what our number is. I want to be more cognizant of it this time than our last live broadcast. But JP is absolutely right, you know, how it bridges the gap. And Musician Breakthrough, a lot of you guys were on that live broadcast. That is a totally different course from this course. That was a course, and I even said it, I said that's a course, you know, for people playing in the church already and you wanted that next level. That was like 5 dimensions of the church service, and for people that were already sort of playing in church or a little familiar, right? And we brought in these 7 professional guys, and they really just took it to the next level, gave you ideas and concepts and techniques. Musician transformation couldn't be more different in the sense that it's not geared towards somebody already playing. Like literally the first video is Fundamental Factory. And what are we doing in that, JP, if you remember?
Well, we're basically starting you with the absolute fundamentals of playing the piano from
The notes.
notes.
Right.
And then we get into the scales and pretty much the foundation that you need to even be able to start playing chords and progressions and things like that. But we get into chords and progressions a little bit later, but just your foundation that you need to play the piano by ear, because that's the first thing that you need to be able to even understand the language of music. When you think about music, it's a language, and just like, you know, you have English, you have Spanish, you know, the first thing you have to learn is the alphabet before you can even begin to form words and sentences. And music is like the same thing. Once you have the foundation, which is the notes and the scales, that's kind of like your alphabet. And then you can, you know, start putting together chords, which are like words, and then chord progressions, which are like sentences. So it's a language, and we pretty much have laid that out for you in Fundamentals Factory.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Somebody said JP and Jermaine got that fresh cut. Yep, absolutely. Now, I want to give a shout out to some of the people that have already taken advantage. So Willie Drone, congratulations, you are in. Rosie Parham, Sandra Plummer, Martin Johnson, Daniel Flores, Donna Cherry, you can jump in too when you want.
Okay, Jonathan Wallace.
And Gilda Suter.
Linus Junio.
Rupert Mighty.
Martins, I'm sorry.
You're getting the hard names.
I'm sorry, I can't do that.
Uba Girin, William Littlejohn.
Stefano Ferrecci.
Sylvia Franken, congratulations.
Wendell Weber.
Simon Richardson.
Man, I'm getting all the hard ones.
That just means that we are international, though.
Yeah.
There's Florin Sergei Aldusku, William Smith.
Remy, there's another one. Laimana.
Gene Watson, congratulations.
Oh, here's an easy one. Michael Jeffries.
Kenneth Riker.
Winsome Mehelp.
Yolanda Stokes.
Yan Park.
Brian Wardlaw.
Terry Grant.
Omar Gonzalez.
Alex Tanner.
Vicky Solomon.
Paul Hamilton.
Abiola Adunkumbi. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Alex Tanner.
Michael Burns.
Bridget Edwards.
Adele Farr.
Avril Mosley.
Joaquin Kunanen.
Neil Sisson.
Jim Broman.
Jonathan Patrick.
David Helms.
Jewel Groves.
Benny Yarbrough.
Isaiah Dunklin.
Lady Cassandra Bell.
Richie Jones.
Abraham Lill.
Nicholas Mensa.
Rudolph Hyde.
Melody Kipp.
Kendall Hills.
Terrence Steffens.
Mark Figueroa.
Amanda Avery.
Curtis Wilkes.
Charles Bruh.
Patrick Joseph.
My glasses on, I'm sorry. I really read that.
Patrick Joseph.
Classy Johnson.
Henry Viltford.
James Bush Jr.
And we'll get back to the rest. I mean, Elvis, Larry, Michael, Ken Lasney, James Bush, Arthur Dunk, Ronald. There's tons of you guys in here, and I'll promise to try to get through everybody. So you guys are archived in this historic moment. You guys are action takers. You're people who have already, you're just here chilling right now because you've already gotten it out of the way. You're not waiting to the end, the last minute. So congratulations already. That's awesome that you guys are in already. So I want to talk about how this works, right? If you're in the Musician Breakthrough, you know that we did very similar, right? We've gone through this period of time where we have these monster courses, and there's two decisions in the boardroom. There's two decisions. Just picture the boardroom. If you've seen The Apprentice, or you've seen, there's a decision. Okay, we got this big 14-disc Musician Breakthrough from January. What do we do with this? You know, and somebody says we sell it for $200, and then somebody else says we sell it for $150, and then somebody else says, well, that's too high. We sell it for $100, and then somebody else says we give it away for free. And says, well, how can we do that? We'll go out of business. I say, well, we have this thing, and we really believe in it, called the Gospel Music Training Center, right? And it's our premier resource for learning gospel music. And the reason why is because everything is in there. Everything. I mean, JP, talk about it. Like, what genres are not in there? What skill levels are not in there? Everything is in there.
I would say that you don't need to go anywhere else, because if you need worship, if you need contemporary, if you need traditional, pretty much when you think about gospel music, you think about not just one style, you think about various styles. And that's the great thing about learning gospel music, is because when you learn how to play that, you pretty much can play anything. And like Jermaine said, inside the Gospel Music Training Center, there's no limit to the styles, because we cover just about everything that we can think of when we think about, all the different genres of gospel music, and we pretty much have everything in there for you.
Somebody says your mic is low, but it could just be because you talk lower than me.
It's a little bit lower. I could turn it up a little bit
on the computer too, huh?
Yeah.
We'll try to adjust for that.
All right.
I typically can be louder. That one is camera 6. I think whichever one's on JP. Yeah. And we'll get that fixed so our camera angles are obvious. So obviously that was me in the boardroom. I was the one saying, well, let's give this program away for free. And here's the idea. Some people say, well, I don't want to join the Gospel Music Training Center. Well, okay, for you, we have an opportunity for you to buy it, like the first board person said, sell it for $200.
Yeah.
But I never understood that. If you want to do that, that's fine. Go that route. But even with the Gospel Music Training Center, when you join that, we give you a 30-day trial. And I'm just going to be honest, from the Musician Breakthrough, we sold out. So we sold all, 1,000 copies. So what generally happens with that is about half of people cancel. They get their Musician Breakthrough and they cancel. That's the deal. What can I do about it? So even when we go to promote the Gospel Music Training Center, we're still putting the risk on us, because this is not a cell phone contract. So when you get into the Gospel Music Training Center, we don't say, well, you got to be in for 12 months. We say, we'll give you 30 days to pretty much try it for free, and you can go to cancelprogram.com. In fact, go there right now, cancelprogram.com, and you can cancel. So when we say the course is free, it is free, independent of Gospel Music Training Center. Yes, it is our incentive to new members, which means in order for you to get this course in your hand, you have to be a Gospel Music Training Center. If you want to get the course in your hand, yes, you got to be a Gospel Music Training Center member. But you don't have to stay a member of the Gospel Music Training Center. That's our job.
Yeah.
Our job is, when you log in, this is what we want to happen. We want you to say, whoa, this is the best thing I've ever seen for gospel music. And I know I just wanted to get that course, that 12 disc, that 14 Musician Breakthrough, or whatever it is, but I've actually fallen in love with the Gospel Music Training Center. That's what I'm hanging my hat on. That's the sole reason. Otherwise, if we don't blow you away, if JP don't blow you away, if all the features and benefits don't blow you away, goodbye. It's up to you. And so that's how it works. So don't let anything stop you from getting this program. If you benefited from videos 1 through 3, if you benefited and you said, wow, I never looked at music that way, then I can only tell you that Musician Transformation is going to have 10 times that. I spent 30 minutes with you. What is 9 hours going to do, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And JP's we're probably half and half. I pass the baton when it gets real advanced. I'm gonna tell you, I'm a teacher, but when it comes to, really jumping and running around and 2-hand voicings and things like that, that's why we have a team here. I mean, if I could teach you everything, I would. But, at some point I pass the baton to guys that this is what they do. They tour with musicians and full bands, and that's why that's why Hear and Play is so special, is because we can take you from the beginning, but we can also take you to, if you want to be one of those guys touring, the musicians that we work with, pretty much there's no, every time I'm at a concert or I'm watching the awards, I call up JP and I say, who's working tonight? Who's working that? And he'll be like, Lil Bam Bam or something. And it's literally, that's the caliber of musicians that we're connected to and that we connect you with. But Musician Transformation, I say all that to say, you have to be transformed first. You have to be at a certain level, and then you break through. So that's how all of our programs kind of work together.
Exactly.
Dorothy says, I placed an order, but the page keeps saying connecting. If you're having any problems and it's saying connecting, don't worry, just call our number, and we can confirm anything for you before you go try to place another order or anything like that. So please call the number. Can we put the number back on there?
It's on there.
Oh, it is?
It's on mine.
No.
It-
It's going to come back in 30 seconds. It's usually down there somewhere. Oh, it's there. Oh, it went off because he put my title there. Yeah, but the number is 1-877-856-4187. Call, and you can talk to a live person. Somebody here saying, I learned from the sample videos alone, and that's the point. I believe there's two kinds of mindsets. I believe there's abundance mindset in the world, music, anything, profession, industry. There's the abundance mindset. There's the scarcity mindset. So here in Play, we've been one where, like, if we release a course, we'll give away a lot of free information. Like, our lessons are 30 minutes long. I share them with somebody and they say, man, that's a long lesson. I remember the video director, what he said from our trailer.
Oh, yeah.
He was like, man, you guys release 30-minute videos, in video school, they teach us for the internet, you got to keep stuff 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, we just don't do that. I guess I can't teach anything in 10 minutes. I like to break it down.
Yeah.
So
I find myself, even when I set out to do like even 15 to 20 minutes, that might turn into an hour.
right. Yeah. And when we're having our meetings, we're like, well, do we cut this stuff short, or do we just really teach them everything that we set out? Do we leave them hanging, or do we have a complete thought? All of our free lessons are complete thoughts. It's not like, let me teach you the first 2 notes of the major chord. You're going to have to learn the third one on your own. We have complete thoughts, complete concepts, even in our free stuff. Because at the end of the day, we want to leave you better than we found you. That's the idea. Leave you better than we found you. So, call the number. Now, I don't know, did we turn the phone off no, people are standing by. I'm looking at the lines right now. There is availability. If you call 1-877, in fact, we'll even take a live caller. So I don't know if Brian's hearing me over there, Desiree, but if somebody's got something good to say, patch them through, let me know. And we'll go to them live. We'll bring like the phone over here or something like that. Connecting, however, I got an email confirmation. Yeah, if it's saying connecting, just call us or check your email and you should be good. So one thing I want to do, just to break this up and give you guys the opportunity, click the add to cart button now. Click it now, not later. Click it now. I want to go to the blooper reel. Can we cue up the blooper reel soon? Hey, how can I help you? Wait, let me start again.
Blooper reel, so wrong.
John Frederick.
You said give me 3. Sooner though, because you only do like 10 reps.
Oh, I thought you could do a million. There's some veins popping here, Brian, right? Yeah. Black and old Schwarzenegger, right? Ready, and action.
Got it?
Yeah, man.
Come on, man. Give me 3 more. 1. Come on. 2. Come on, man.
Action time.
Dang, this is really good.
Think so?
Yeah, I think that it really revolutionaries.
Revolutionaries.
All right, ready.
I gotta step aside because he's making me laugh.
Ready. 1, 2, action.
Hey, how can I help you?
Wait, Jermaine Griggs, right? Hear him play music?
Yeah, how do you
Man, everybody. Oh, sorry. I jumped.
Let's cut it.
You know John from down the street?
John Franklin?
Yeah, John Franklin. That's my cousin.
Wait. No, John Smith. John Smith lives down the street.
Right. John. Right, John Franklin Smith, my cousin. He lives right around the corner here, and he said any friend of his is a friend of mine. Anybody knows hear him play music. I mean, everybody knows hear him play music. Anybody knows hear him play music.
Is that right?
Oh my God.
And go, guys. Action. Action. Jermaine.
No action.
Wait, is that him right there?
That is him.
Good. Yeah, that's good.
That is him.
Okay. that it is.
1, go. Cut. Good. All right. And action. Cut. You good? Yeah. Okay, so remember you're going in for the choke and then coming down. All right, ready? Everyone's ready? Action. Still rolling, back to one. Oh, go. And walk in now, JP. Come in. What do you want to do? Where's the stick? Where's the stick?
I dropped the stick.
Why? You're say. And action.
And it looks like it's all here.
Great. He's getting up.
Get up, man.
Why did you do this, man?
Isn't it obvious? It's obvious.
Keep going. Keep going. Don't move. Don't move. Stay in that position.
Look, man, I'll be darned if I have anybody that believes what you believe stop our vision to change the way gospel musics. Look, man, I'll be darned.
You start smiling.
You couldn't tell. One more time. Look, man, I'll be darned if I let anybody that believes what you believe stop our vision to teach musicians all around the world.
Cut it.
Man, you selfish. Man, you crazy.
Look, man, I'll be darned if I let anybody who believes what you believe stop our vision to change the world and to teach gospel musicians all around the world. We'll try that one more time.
Action.
Hey.
Cut. Perfect.
Great.
I like it. You like it?
And if you want to talk to us live, call in 1-877-856-4187. It's in the lower part of your screen. So let's take a moment and talk about what led us, why we focused on Circle of Fifths in this particular series. Why the circle? So this has been like a big deal if you've been following us the last 4 weeks. And why the circle, JP? Why is it important?
It's important because that's the way music works. When you think about chord progressions, not all chord progressions, but most chord progressions that you hear in songs, they move in fourths. So you have different chord progressions that are very popular, like 2-5-1s, 7-3-6s, 3-6-2s, and things like that. They move in a circular motion, and then you also have chords that tie into the circle that Jermaine explained to as well. Like you got the outside tones, they represent, not just notes, but they can represent major chords. And it's a fascinating way to learn because when you go one direction, you're going in fourths, and when you go in another direction, you're going in fifths. And a lot of times when it comes down to, learning your chords in different keys, you can just identify one tone or one note on this particular circle, and then the surrounding tones around that one tone will be your fourth and your fifth chord of the particular key. So if you go to the left, that's your fourth, because counterclockwise, you're going in fourths. And then if you go clockwise, you're going in fifths. So basically, you have your 1, 4, and a 5, and like Jermaine said on some of the other videos, those are your primary chords. So you could use the circle to identify chords and keys. You can use the circle to learn chord progressions. Like, you can use it for a lot of different things, and it's very powerful. And I think that's something that you definitely should keep your eyes on and use this to practice with.
Absolutely. You know, my daughter, she's in 3rd grade, so in science, I think, I don't know what subject, but they're talking about primary colors. And I had to brush up my own stuff. And like, I kind of knew, but like the primary colors are red, blue, and I think yellow. One site said green, and I was confused, yellow. But what it said, and the connection to music was, you could take red, blue, and yellow and create every other color. Right? So you mix red and blue, and what do you get? I don't even know the real answer. I think it's purple.
Purple?
I don't know. But the point is, I think it's purple. Is it purple? I mean, you can kind of think about it, because then if you mix blue and yellow, you get green.
Oh, okay.
And then if you mix yellow and red, you get orange, I think. So it lightens that primary color. So, and then even like, I have this light transformer thing, like it makes effects in your kid's room, and there's this color circle. You see, like music, right? It's this color cycle, and the blue does turn into the green turns into this, and you see the connection between the colors. Well, what if I said that music has the same connection? Like, if you take those 3 primary colors and you can get everything else, well, if you take any 3 notes on the circle, they give you every other chord. And that was clear in video number 1. That was clear. We talked about that in video number 2 as well. That circle any 3 chords, and that gives you the primary chords in whatever the key in the middle is. So if we're dealing in the key of C, well, we put C in the middle, we circle the chord to the one side, the chord to the next side. That gives us, if you will, the primary colors. If that's the blue, yellow, red. From that, we can create all our other chords, A minor. So that would be like green, like a secondary color. That would be like purple.
Those are the major chords.
Yeah, the major chords out here.
Chords.
You know, and if you think about your songs, like there are rock bands and pop music that has sold tens of millions of albums on primary chords.
All major chords.
Yeah, I mean, these songs that you grew up listening to, these are landmarks of your life, and there's just 3 chords. And if you're not a musician, you're like, man, that song, I love that. That's my favorite song. And you don't know that you're 3 chords away from playing that song, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, a lot of songs use, just like Jermaine said, your 1 chord, your 4 chord, your 5 chord, and everything else is kind of related, like he demonstrated on some of the launch videos that we did. So, I mean, once you take the circle and you apply those concepts, just with these simple chords, you can play a lot of different songs.
Absolutely, absolutely. So that's why we spent so much time on the circle of fifths. And that's why the course goes into depth. There is like a whole DVD on the circle of fifths. That's what I didn't do. I didn't bring a copy of Musician Transformation. Or do I have one? Didn't we have one? Maybe. I know we have Musician Breakthrough here. Should have put that on my to-do list. But you guys see it on the page. But Musician Transformation is pretty much 5 courses in one. But the one that gets into depth about the circle is called Pattern Paradise. That's the Pattern Paradise disc. And I mean, it tears this apart because, like JP said, music follows like this motion, like this, like C to F. Like if like, I don't care if you play the guitar or the piano or whatever you play, you'd be hard pressed not to go in a song from C to some kind of C chord to some kind of F chord. And then you'll be even more hard pressed if B flat doesn't follow somewhere along the line. Like, for example, in the key of B flat, like if you circle B flat and you just back that thing on up, back up. I say stuff on purpose to get you guys to remember. You'll never forget that, right? So back that thing on up 2 levels, and that's what we call a 2-5-1. In jazz music, 2-5-1 is like a staple. Like you just do a bunch of 2-5-1s, in a row in various keys, and you got a lot of jazz songs out there, jazz progressions, gospel. These are progressions. So that's why we spend so much time on it in this series. And you just learned that. And many of you guys commented. We got like 230 comments. And many of you guys were, wow, I never thought about music like that. I never looked at it that way. Wayne Dyer says, if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. So that's always been our deal. Like, I've never looked at music like music, like, I don't know, I just remember being in high school and college and people saying, oh, I gotta do music theory class. Like they didn't like it. It wasn't like fun.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why is that? This isn't chemistry. Not that chemistry is not fun. This isn't physics or trigonometry. This is music theory. It's always came natural to me and when I looked at it this way.
I think that is how the information is delivered. When you look at it from, you know, the technical standpoint, from how a lot of schools teach it, they take the fun out of it by making it more hard, like formulated systems and different things like that. But like you said, like how we do things, we tend to do things out of the ordinary. So, you know, the School of Hard Knocks is how we learn. So that's how we want to teach and make it easier for you too as well.
Absolutely. I mean, for example, somebody would teach you your minor scale from scratch. They would say, okay, you learned your major scale, and they might say a major scale is comprised of, you know, a whole step, and then a whole step, and then a half step, and then a whole step, and then a whole step, and a half step. And then they might say,
is like, what?
Yeah, you're like, oh man, I got to do that 12 times. We might say, why won't he wear white when hot? You know, you're like, why won't he wear white when hot? What are y'all talking about? And we say, well, take the first letter, and there it is. That tells you whether you're moving in a whole step or a half step. Why won't he wear white when hot? And then when it comes time to learn your minor scales, what do we tell you? We tell you, don't worry about learning your minor scales from scratch, because if you know your major, you know your minor. We taught you in video, was it video 1 or 2? Just go to whatever your major key is. It has a relative minor.
Exactly.
So why would you learn the minor scale all over again if there's a major scale that has the same notes as a minor scale? And as long as you know, it's like that color cycle. Which color creates the next color? As long as you know that, why would you start all over? It's like 2 people living in a duplex, family up here and a family down there, and then I get directions to the family upstairs, and then I go back home, and then I pull directions again, and then I come back and I visit the family downstairs. That's what a lot of people do in their learning. Instead of finding the connection between things and using that energy to move forward, they start all over and they don't see the connections. And you know what else? People do that when learning songs. They start all over every time. They get directions to so-and-so's house, and then they go back home, and then they get directions again. When in reality, once I learn one song, that oftentimes introduces me to chords and progressions that are now with me forever that I can use in other songs, right? You don't have to start all over.
I mean, you could look at this kind of like a compass, because if you know, your starting point, for example, if you start on C, this is going to lead you to some place. So if you go left, you're going in fourths. If you go right, you're going in fifths. And like Jermaine said, music works in a lot of circular motion. So when you learn one chord progression, let's say it's a 2-5-1, like for example in the key is C. The C major scale is C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C, right? So from C to C, C is the 1, D is the 2, E is the 3, F is the 4, G is the 5. So all we need is the 2-5-1. So basically a 2-5-1 is going from D to G to C, right? So if you look at the circle, the 2-5-1 is a very popular chord progression. So if we look at D and go counterclockwise, D, and then you're going to go to G, it's right here. So this is kind of like a roadmap or a compass. Basically, once you learn this system, and I also taught on the lunch video 3, that if you just practice this with your left hand, basically starting from C, then go to F, then B flat, this will teach you pretty much all your chord progressions that work in fourths, because once you learn a 2-5-1 in one key, it's going to be a different chord progression in the next key. But just learn this, and you will have the keys to the city, I promise you, because music works in circular motion most of the time.
Absolutely. Just like JP said, so learn the patterns. Like 2-5-1. 2-5-1 is like the ending of, I don't know, 70% of songs. Like a 2-5-1, like the end of Happy Birthday.
Yeah,
Happy birthday to you. That's like you play a 2-5-1. Like 2-5-1. It's like the 2 to the 5 is like going up to the mountaintop or getting ready to come home or something, and then the 5 to the 1 brings you home. So it's how songs end. Like the 5 is always that last chord that you hear that lets you know that this song is about to be over. So if you're at some boring concert, not that like, I don't enjoy opera or, something real, but if you're at somewhere you're ready to go home, you love the 5 chord because you're like, oh, this song is almost over. All right, get your keys, let's go. Because that's what the 5 chord in your ear, when you're looking to hear, you're like, okay, if somebody says happy birthday to, and you ready to go home, you love that word too. Well, that's the same thing as the 5 chord. It's like if a song ended on the 5 chord, you would be confused. You like the audience wouldn't clap because they would be like, is the song over? And some people would be like, well, the band stopped playing, like Steve Harvey said, the band was playing, as the ship went down, right? Well, it depends. Hopefully they got a 1 chord there, and then everybody just ended, with that finality, because I would have been tripped. The Titanic, I'm trying to get out, like play that 1 chord, brother, because that 5 chord just leaves you hanging, right? Yeah. It's not that finality. It's the thing before the finale. It's like ending the movie. When the bad guy gets the good guy cornered on the top of the roof with the gun pointed at him, and then the movie just said the end. Don't you hate that? Like people grunt and stuff. That's ending the song on the 5. That's why the 2-5-1 is so popular, because you don't even have to be a musician to know the song is over. In Amazing Grace, it was blind, but now I see, or was lost, and now I'm found.
Yeah, you can't stop at blind.
Yeah, right. You have to have that finality. Yeah. So you learn that's on this circle, because all of these are 2-5-1s. It doesn't matter where you start. 2-5-1 in the key of C. 2-5-1, but no. Which way am I going? Am I going the right way? No. Oh yeah, I'm opposite. 2-5-1 in the key of B flat. 2-5-1 in the key of E flat, right? 2-5-1 if you're in A flat, so you go counterclockwise. It doesn't matter, as long as you end, wherever you end is the key that you're in. So that's why we did all that time on the circle of fifths. It's powerful. So even if you don't get the collection, you don't call, you don't order online, you would have been, we got you better than we found you, and that's always been our vision here. So try it out. Click the add to cart button, add it to your order, and you won't be sorry. So we had a question. Charmaine says, I've been playing at church since I was 9, but I really appreciate this course because I needed to go back and brush up on my fundamentals so I can play even better. If you guys scroll down on this page, there's this musician transformation chart. And it talks about what happens when you're missing, one of the elements of our program, right? Mm-hmm. So Charmaine's talking about fundamentals. Like, you think about the church musician. We didn't always have the resources we have today. Yeah. Somebody who learned how to play but didn't learn like how things work. Mm-hmm. What position do they find themselves in 20 years later?
As far as, say that one more time.
I'm saying, basically on this chart, we say if you're missing the fundamental factors, you're lacking foundation, no knowledge of what's being played. But we know people like that. We know people that they've been playing for 20 years, but they skipped all the foundations. What does it do for them now, 20 years later? Where do they find themselves in terms of limitations or?
Well, for some people, I know I have friends. I hope you guys aren't watching.
They probably are watching.
But for some people, it's just, you just won't be able to see the patterns that relate in different songs. When it comes down to learning one song, there's patterns in that. But when you go to another song, there's patterns in that too as well. And those two songs might have the same patterns in them. Right. But because you don't know the foundation or the fundamentals of the song, a lot of musicians that don't have that foundation more so are working off of memorization. And when you memorize things, it's kind of harder to recognize the pattern. So it just takes a lot longer to really connect the dots when it comes down to, chords and, because once you learn, a certain amount of songs, you're going to start to see certain things over and over and over again, just different variations. And, the approach that some musicians take is that they're learning something new every time. And in some cases you're learning a new approach or a new nuance to a certain chord progression and things like that. But, just having a solid foundation will help you to be able to take one thing and recognize it in another song, but just recognize it as a different twist to the same thing that's in another song, because a lot of songs use patterns, and the same patterns like circular motion, 2-5-1s, 3-6-2, 7-3-6s. So a lot of songs use the same patterns. It's just a matter of understanding the foundation and the fundamentals behind that, and then also being able to recognize that by ear. So in the long run, like Jermaine said, it's going to affect you to be able to play things in different keys too as well, because when you memorize things and you don't have this foundation, it limits you in a way where you can't take this information and apply it to another key, because now you have to think about every single chord note for note and maybe write it down and transpose the chords that way. But when you have a system in place, you can take that information and then change it to another key without even really having to do too much, without a lot of effort. So having a solid foundation in the long run will speed up the process of learning, and then it will also help you to play in all 12 keys and, just get a really good understanding of how music works a lot faster. Because, like I said, I know some people that, I've shown them things and they'll ask me a question. I'm like, man, that's the same thing that's in this key. I already showed that to you already, but they don't recognize it because they don't understand the fundamentals that, once you learn something in one key, it's going to be the exact same thing in another key. But if you don't understand the scales and if you don't understand the patterns and everything and the chord progressions and how they work, you won't recognize that.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, when you were saying that, I was thinking of language. And we always say music is a language, especially when you play by ear. Like it's a clear language, Reading sheet music, nothing against it, absolutely. I would say do both. If you can ultimately do both, be able to read and hear and play. For someone to say they'd rather read than hear and play, I just don't resonate with that, because that's not the way I did it. It's not the way JP did it. All of our friends that are on tour right now, working 24/7, a lot of them didn't do it that way. But then there are other genres of music where you will read sheet music. Like you can't go join an orchestra, thinking you're gonna be up in there, hearing and playing, because that's different, right? You want to go play at Carnegie Hall or something, and you want to play violin or cello and classical, theaters and things like that. That's different. But if you want to rock out at a charismatic church and the pastor say, "Put me in the key of E flat," and you think you're about to go grab some sheet music, well, it's not going to work. Or if you're going to, be on tour with John Legend or something, playing backup keys, it depends. I don't know if he's classically, I think he is classically trained, but I don't think they're reading sheet music with him.
No, he's not. He's still playing by ear.
Yeah, he's playing by ear, and all the band members. So it depends on the genre. Sometimes, when Quincy Jones brings in an orchestra, or a full band to do We Are the World, he's doing like this, and you probably are reading. Yeah. But, when Ty Tribbett or, your favorite artist is on stage, if you don't see the people reading sheet music, it probably, not that they're not synced together, right? Because you play for artists, they're synced together, they've practiced, but there's an understanding of what's going on.
Oh yeah, there's a system. I mean, once you understand fundamentals and how chord progressions and music works, it is a language. So you can learn the system and communicate with different people in a band situation without using sheet music. That's why you see in certain cases, some musicians be like, go to the 6 or
go to the 6.
Go to the 5.
Go to the 1.
That's very similar to sheet music, but it's the language that you understand as a musician that will allow you to communicate that way.
Right, but it gives you flexibility, because in church, especially in charismatic churches, Sister Murphy, Sister Brown, she may catch the Holy Ghost, right? And if you're reading sheet music, when that song is over, it doesn't matter if Sister Murphy got the Holy Ghost or not. The band stops, and there's no sensitivity to what's going on. But when you're playing by ear, you're because you've gotten to a point in your learning that you have unconscious competence. You're just playing. That way your eyes are able to be cognizant of what's going on around you, because you're playing, you know what you're playing, you know if you have to repeat, you know if you have to move forward. And you can see that this song shouldn't probably end because this whole church is in the spirit. I got to repeat this song, and I got to communicate to the organ player, the bass player, the drummer, that we need to repeat this song. See, I think church prepares you for almost every other genre because it's so unpredictable. Charismatic church. Other denominations, it may be very structured. You know, if you're on radio or something, your church is on TV, it's probably very structured. But the kind of churches I grew up in, man, I'm playing the same thing for 5 hours. You know, the preacher is preaching and there's a prayer line and you just have to know, you know, the language of music. But the other reason I mention the language of music is, like you said, a lot of people, you'll show them something or they'll play a song, they'll learn a song, but they don't understand the language of music. What is the language of music? Say I went to Japan right now. Well, I would have to learn, you know, Japanese to you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Navigate that local surround, my locals, communicate, navigate, you know, do things on my own. I have to learn that language. I go to, you know, Germany, I have to learn German. If I go to, you know, whatever, I gotta learn whatever. Well, in music, there is a universal language. There's a universal language. And that's why we teach the number system, because what the number system does is it takes you out of any particular key. If JP tells me, man, that song goes from the 1 to the 6 minor, and then, but it does a dominant on the 2, okay? So we're gonna do 1 to the 6 to the 2, but make it dominant for me. You got that? I'll be like, I got it. And then it goes to the 5, right? He just told me a language. I could play that in the key of C, because I know what the 1, 6, 2, 5 is. I could play that in F, I could play that in B. He just told me the language. It's like being able to go to Japan and speak this universal language and people get it. I mean, people like to say that's English, but I don't want to impose my language on someone else. In music, there is a universal numerical language where I know what he's talking about, right?
Exactly, yeah. And like Jermaine said, once you learn this language, I mean, you have different genres of music that have different twists on language, like jazz, and you have rock, but basically the foundation of it is, you know, understanding how the patterns and progressions work, but everything else is just a different variation of the same thing. When it comes down to jazz, if you understand your basic chords, then it's just a matter of learning a different approach to what you already know, because in jazz music, you know, they play a lot of the same chords that you play in gospel music, but the difference is that, you know, the chords are voiced different. So the foundation is the key to pretty much learning every other language, because once you have the foundation of just music in general, and gospel music, you know, you pretty much learn how to play everything. You get a taste of, with CCM, that's almost like playing rock and roll, because you got, you know, a lot of guitars are involved, you play a lot of major chords, and that's almost similar to like classic rock and roll. Contemporary music is just, you know, it's a little bit of everything. You sometimes, with Ty Tribbett especially, you got, you know, funk stuff, you got, you know, worship stuff, classical stuff. I mean, learning gospel music, you get a taste of everything. So, I mean, you know, once you understand, in the Gospel Music Training Center, you get a taste of that too as well, because we try to cover every single genre, you know, that we can possibly think about too as well. Yep.
I want to go to some more people that have bought. Ronald West, congratulations. Bill Mackey, Nathan Phillips, LeConte Sanan, Catherine Gilreth, Jonathan McDowell, Nicholas Manoles, Michael Bishop, Robert Cook, Bruce Moss, Miriam Tierno, Bernard Kirkbride, Caleb Owusu, Philip Smith, Jude Abasuyi, Amin Masakoya, Sandra Smith, Savalas Springs, Jeffrey Bruce, Bretta Alexander, Raphael Nurk, Carmen Martinez, Sam Spencer, Bo Barton, Clavisha Smith, Thomas Barrett, Colin Spence, Carlton Pettis, Roger Cook, Guy Perrin, Hertoto Echo Prasatamayato, I think I said that right, Lavinia Jackson, Dennis Wright, Latrice McKnight, Chloe Marshall, Jonathan Vincent, Eric Rader, Charmaine Sanders, S. Sly, Ruth Joseph, Stacey Ann Morrison, Hertoto Echo Prasatama, that's the same name, maybe there's a double order in there, Evan Stewart, Dorothy Rainey, Rufus Brown, Dimitri Simmons, Laura Familiua, Joshua Williams, Marva King, Edwin Roman, Walter Best, and it keeps going. I'll return to read the rest of you guys. If your name hasn't been called yet, don't worry. I left off on Walter Best, so I'll get to you guys like Kwame and Francis, Alberta, Willett, Keon. So congratulations for you guys. What I want to do is turn around to the screen here, and I want to just log into GMTC, because you'll get a membership for GMTC when you get your musician transformation. So, you know, I log into GMTC, And right off the bat, you'll notice that there's always a weekly lesson. There's always a weekly lesson. We can even do the picture-in-picture in the lower left. Oh, no, never mind, because we only got one source. It's all right. You guys can see my screen. And you know what? With all the activity we got going on right now, it might not even be going fast enough. So this could be the same issues that you guys are experiencing. So I do apologize for that. Just too many people logged in at once right now. Well, no, it's coming up, but it is a little slower. So please bear with us. Usually it's going to be like that, like the first couple hours when we do a live broadcast, hundreds of people logging in and stuff like that. So don't worry about that. That's not normal. Even when I log off, I can do some things and to make it better. But the first thing is the foundation lessons, right? Here in the foundation lessons is where you take the quizzes, and we got all the levels of musician transformation broken out for you. So you're going to get the hard copy in the mail, but you also have a digital version. The reason the digital version is important is because it comes with quizzes. So while the DVDs, you always have that hard copy there, right? When you log in and actually go through the lessons here, you've got over 350 quiz questions, and it will not let you go on to the next, and I'm still being heard, right? It won't let you go on to the next lesson until you pass the quiz. So for example, Fundamental Factory here, if I click on it and maybe take the quiz here, you know, I've got 9 quiz questions, right? So this is all on the number system, right? The number system is what results when, I can't even read it. The number system is what results when you number each tone of the scale from 1 to 7. You number each white key on the piano. You number all white and black keys in any octave, right? It's kind of tricky if you didn't go through the lesson. Well, the answer is you number each tone of the scale, right? I click next, then I go to the next question. G is the third tone of what major scale? So I have to know, what is G the third tone of? My mind tells me E flat, so I'll check that. What is the 5th tone of A major, right? I think it's E, right? True or false? Major scales must use all the musical alphabet letters and not leave any of them out, right? True or false? Major scales must use all the alphabet. That's true, right? Going to the next question. The G flat major scale is G flat, A flat, B flat, B, D flat, E flat, F, G flat, or G flat, A, B flat, C flat, D flat, E flat, F, G. What do you guys think? I just told you in the previous question that major scales have to use every alphabet letter. So this one skips an alphabet letter. It doesn't have a C in it. This one does have a C in it. So that alone, and there's a reason for that C flat, and we teach you that in the lesson that you're taking a quiz for, right? The 1st, 4th, and 5th tones of the B major scale are what? So what's the 1, 4, and 5? So that's the 1, that's the 4, that's the 5. And what are the 6 tones of C major, F major, and B flat major, right? So I have to know my 6 tones very well. Well, I know A is the 6th tone of C, so I know it's A. I know D is the 6th tone of F, and I know G is the 6th tone of B flat. So I'm gonna click that one. True or false? When you're playing chords from a song, you should be thinking about numbers. Absolutely. When I'm playing chords from a song, I'm like, okay, I'm on the 1, I'm on the 5, I'm on the 6. And then the last question, the 3rd tone of G flat major is B flat. So I know I did this fast, but I should get 100%. If I don't, you know, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, but I got 100%. Congratulations, you passed this foundation test. So this is just one, right? But you take it for every section of Fundamental Factory, and then you take it for every section of Chord County, every section of Pattern Paradise, every section of Song Station, every section of Ear Elevator. So this is the perfect companion to what you're getting in the mail, you know, the 12-disc DVD. So that's how these things work together. So we reinforce. We want to make sure that you know what you're learning, that we are testing you, that we are confirming that you got the information. And the best thing is, it's not going to let you go on to the next lesson. It's not going to let you go from Fundamental Factory to Chord County until you pass the test. There's over 300 questions. As we get more advanced, you know, some of these tests have 30 questions in them. 9 is actually on the light side. I don't know how many this one has. Oh, that one only has one quiz question. Let me see what this one has. It just depends which lesson you're on. This one has 31 questions, right? I won't go through each of the 31, but it just depends. You know, some lessons are on the lighter side, some lessons are full out. So that's the foundation lessons. But every week we have strategically picked song lessons that you get to apply all of these fundamentals to. Like, you know, here's a song, Revelations 19:1. Here's a song, So Many Times. This is what we call a topical lesson here. JP's going through some of the circular chord exercises. So, you know, since we were releasing musician transformation and talking about the circle of fifths, he decided to do it inside of GMTC. Here's an exercise just on finger exercises, right? Here's a video lesson. And these are released every Friday. So every Friday you get a new lesson in addition to what's already sitting there, the foundation lessons. If you go over to the Vault, this houses over 200 lessons, like 400 hours worth of old lessons going back to like 2008. Like, we take you back to like songs like This Far by Faith and Precious Lord and Wade in the Water and Search Me Lord, Everybody Clap Your Hands, My Soul is Anchored. Like, so we got, so far our database of songs is so rich and extensive that you'd be hard pressed not to find what you're looking for in there. And then our loyalty store is where we pretty much give you access to all of our DVDs, the digital version. You can buy them with points that you accumulate. So every month you accumulate new points and you can unlock all of our courses with your points. So when JP says like, once you're in GMTC, it's almost all you need. Well, that's like literally, that's figuratively and literally, because literally you can unlock courses that you would normally be buying outside of GMTC. So that's important as well. And then the live aspect. Every other Monday night, me and JP come on live, right? You see it up here. And we do a live training. Like, we answer questions live. Our next one is on March 9th, right? But we've done this for 6 years. So you can go back, you know, let's see how many pages, 20 pages worth. You can go back to January 5th, 2009, and nonstop every 2 weeks, every other Monday, day in, day out, we've been here to be a live resource for you, to answer your questions live. You're never alone when you join with Hear and Play. And then you can sort the lessons by beginner, advanced, by contemporary, traditional, by key, and we got organ lessons in here if you ever wanted to learn organ, and the notes light up, right? These aren't just regular lessons, but the notes light up and sync with the organ so that you never miss a note. Same thing with the piano lessons. They're searchable, so if I'm on this last lesson so many times, it's gonna have some tags over here, like B flat major, choir song, old school, praise, quartet. I can click on old school or praise, right? And it's gonna pull up all other lessons that have that same tag. So if I just wanna focus on praise, I got all my praise there. I can go back and click on B flat, and it's going to have all the other songs that are in B flat if I wanna work on B flat, right? And I can do this on any lesson. I can click on quartet, and it's gonna give me other lessons that have quartet, you know, styled music or their quartet style. So this is an extensive resource. And I'm done giving you guys a tour because I could go all day on that. But the idea here is before we came along, there wasn't a lot of resources for gospel musicians online. I mean, there were sites scattered here, but we said we want to create like a landmark place for gospel musicians. If you want to learn jazz, there's no lack of jazz programs at whatever university. You want to learn just music theory in general, there's no lack of music programs. You want to learn classical, that's probably the most prolific. There's no lack of programs there, all the way up into the very high levels, PhDs and whatnot in certain levels of music. But if you want to learn hand clapping, foot stomping, praise songs, you know, what institution is giving out degrees on that? Yeah, we want to call to the stage John Grisham. You know, he's got a degree in Southern quartet praise songs. You know, it's not happening. And for whatever reasons, you know, you take that up with the institutions. But so, and we've always noticed that gospel music is like school of hard knocks. You just learn it, you look over people's shoulders, you glean what you can, but that's what it's been. So we wanted to create a resource, a universal platform that people can log in. So when you get your 12 discs for free, you pay for the shipping, you get 30 days in there. If it doesn't blow you away, go to cancelprogram.com, cancel. If not, you automatically become a member. You pay the charter member rate of $37, and that keeps you in there as long as you want to stay. And if you don't want to stay, you leave whenever. We've had members, and I don't know if they're in this chat room, and we've got any members that have been with us since day one. That would date back to November 2008. So we're going on 7 years this November, the end of this year, 7 years that the Gospel Music Training Center has been in existence. 15 years total. We'll be celebrating our birthday August 6th. It was in the year 2000 that we started Hear and Play. So that tells you we've been here for a while, and we will continue to be here, being a resource to you guys. All right? All right, I am told that we have a live caller on the line, and indeed you are live here. Who am I speaking with?
Hi, this is Mariska.
Mariska, how are you?
Hi, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing splendid right now. Where are you calling in from?
I'm calling from St. Louis, Missouri.
St. Louis, Missouri. You know, my folks, the Griggses, are from St. Louis, so I feel like there's a connection right now. So did you grab your musician transformation?
Yes, sir, I did.
Oh, wow. Well, congratulations on that. Or do you already have it? Because I do realize some people already have it from the last time. Or are you getting it new tonight?
I'm sorry, can you say that one more time?
Yeah, I know it's kind of scrambled. I said some people already have musician transformation from a couple years ago. Are you one that's already had it, or are you actually grabbing your copy tonight?
I'm grabbing my copy tonight, yes.
Wow.
I'm excited about it.
That's great. That's great. So did you follow our video series?
No, I haven't been able to see all of it because I'm in school, so a lot of time I spend with school, but any downtime I have, I've been with Hear and Play, and I've learned so much from you all.
Wow. How long have you been playing?
So much. I've been playing for about 10 years.
Really? 10 years? Were you one that started with classical, or you've always been playing by ear and playing in the church?
I started off with sheet music.
Wow. So how would you say that transition? What's been the goods, the bads, and why did you seek out something like Hear and Play?
Well, at my church, I play on the keyboard. They needed a keyboardist, and at my church, it's kind of charismatic and the praise and worship type deal.
Oh yeah.
For a lot of the music that's by sheet music, you can't, you're not able to, you have to play according to what's written on there and not what a lot of the charismatic churches have nowadays.
Right. So
The Gospel Music Training Center, that has opened up my ear even more to be able to play songs that I hear at church.
wow.
Before I could only rely on the sheet music. Now I'm able to play by ear, and it's thanks to you all, to the Gospel Music Training Center, to the DVDs that I've received. Gospel Keys 300 has been a tremendous blessing to me.
Wow.
Gospel Keys 500, just about all your videos have just been, it's been a blessing. It really has.
Wow, that really warms my heart. Your Gospel Keys 300, that's I remember that, praise songs. Gospel Keys 500, shouting music, and of course, Gospel Music Training Center. That's a vast resource. And I mean, what you're saying here is a lot of people's story with that sheet music transition. You realize that what got you here does not get you there. And it's great, to have that skill, that ability. But when Sister Murphy starts singing, it almost goes out the window. So you do have to find a resource like this. And it sounds like that was your search. And you've been a long-term member of ours. What would you say to somebody who is on the fence about the Gospel Music Training Center, is on the fence about anything that we do here, and maybe they're just new and they've been following us on our mailing list, but they haven't taken that plunge? What would you say to them?
I would say join. I would say buy all the information that you all have out there. It's, like I said, it's a tremendous help. When I first started playing by ear, it was hard for me to do church music, but watching that DVD, I'm able to incorporate what I've learned from the DVD and play it at church. And I even play at my school, and I'm getting people asking, what are you doing? How are you doing that? And it's thanks to the DVDs that I've been watching.
Wow. Well,
But if I can learn, anybody can learn. So.
Well, why do you say that? Why do you say that? Just in general, or?
Yes, with school, how I would do at school, when I would learn material, it's you all just make it plain when you all explain things. A lot of times when there's piano teachers or different stuff, they don't explain it like you all do it. You explain it down to the detail. It's just easy to grasp. It's very beneficial.
Gotcha. And I really appreciate you calling in. It was such a surprise. I didn't know we were going to cue. I knew I put it out there, but I just figured we weren't going to talk to someone. But for all the people we had the opportunity to, it was great to be able to speak with you, Mariska, from St. Louis. I was just out there. For when the Kojic convention came, I was there that week. We closed.
Wow.
Closed down the city. I was there actually in another event, but on the plane, I didn't know that there was a Kojic event. I just sensed there was a bunch of pastors on that plane. The plane couldn't even lift off. It was so many church hats in the luggage. And I just got to talk with so many of the pastors and stuff, and I enjoyed myself in St. Louis, and my family's from there, like I said, and stuff. So it was a pleasure speaking with you, and thank you for encouraging all the people watching and the people that will see the replays, and you keep up the great work in your own pursuits.
Yes, thank you.
All right.
Thank
Thank you. And I'm gonna put you on hold just in case Brian or some of the other folks want to say something to you. But thank you so much for calling in.
You're welcome.
All right, take care. Well, that was awesome. If someone else wants to call in, please. We're taking callers now. So that was great. Hearing from a real member who underscores, that experience that we're talking about. I know not all of you guys have made that transition from sheet music to playing, by ear or just being free of the sheet music. Some of you guys have just started with by ear. You had already had a knack for it, and we're just helping you to sharpen that. But wherever you are in your journey, I think there's something here. There's something that you can benefit from here. In the Hear and Play family. And the proof is in the pudding. And in this day and time, I read business books too, and one guy, Michael Gerber, he says 9 out of 10 ideas fail. 9 out of 10 ideas, fail. For every Hear and Play, there's 9 that could have tried or could have been. And so 15 years, I'm immensely grateful to have this opportunity. I was 17 years old. This is all I've known. But what it speaks to is the fact that there's a consistent demand being met. So some of you guys just finding out about us. Some of you guys probably remember the 17-year-old Jermaine, the 21-year-old JP. Mm-hmm. You would have been 21, yeah. You've seen our courses. You've seen us mature. You've seen the announcements about our marriage, and you've seen the announcements about our kids. You've seen me at 230 pounds. You've seen me at 195. This has been a journey for us on this end with you. So it's immensely, it puts us in a grateful, humbling position to be able to hear people like Mariska and you guys, some of you guys, been with us from the beginning. So thank you, especially our Gospel Music Training Center members that are here just watching, because you're already in the program. You've already gotten the program. So let me see if there's any other questions. Did you hear the call?
Yeah, I heard it. Yeah.
It was a great testimony. So I see that the phone lines are good. Let me make sure they don't leave Mariska hanging. Who else wants to talk to us? Call in. Don't be scared.
Yeah, don't be shy.
Yeah, because right now is a good time because one line is available. And if you want to call in and ultimately get the program, it's 1-877-856-4187. We're only going to be here for just a couple more minutes. We never go over a couple hours. You guys know that, and some of you guys are on the East Coast. So if you want to be like our last caller, I do invite that. So, yeah, I'll say it one more time, 1-877-856-4187. And if you didn't see the movie, I'm going to put that on at the very end so you can watch that again. But, yeah, you guys call in and talk to us. Call in and get your copy, most importantly. And I'm looking at the chat room. Somebody says, whatever you do, don't transpose. Every keyboard has one of them. Do you think the transpose button is the enemy?
Sometimes, well.
He's not on mute. Okay, you're good.
I'm not on mute?
No.
Okay. Well, it depends. You know, it has its uses for good and it has its uses for
evil?
bad. For evil, yeah. So, I mean, you know, if you use it as a handicap to not playing all 12 keys, then, you know, you're limiting yourself and, you know, that's when it becomes a, you know, evil doer. So that's my take on that.
You think the transpose button has that? First of all, for anybody that doesn't know, a transpose button is found on any keyboard.
Yeah.
Most keyboards, unless it's like a very entry-level keyboard, but most keyboards will have a transpose button. What that means is you could learn how to play in C, right? And you know you can transpose it up a key, and while you're playing it in C, it will come out in D flat. So you don't have to know how to play in D flat. You just play in C. You transpose it twice, 2 half steps, it comes out in D. 3 times E flat. So you get the point. You just transpose it to whatever key you want, and now you only have to learn one key.
Don't tell them how to do it.
I know, it's almost like I'm teaching y'all how to do it. Here's what you do, you know, if you're going to, you know, do evil, here's how you do it. But no, I'm just explaining so, but don't do it, because what'll happen is people say, all I gotta do is learn in one key. It's like, you know, having one play, like on the football team, like the team just do the same play. They think they're gonna do it to every team. Let's just switch the receivers and let's do the same play. But sometimes what happens is you get in a situation where you don't have a keyboard.
Like when you go to that visiting church and you don't get to bring your keyboard. They're like, no, we got a keyboard.
Yeah.
And they have an organ or a piano, and you know, you never know what kind of situation you're gonna end up in. So, you know, you will be embarrassed.
You will be embarrassed, you know.
Trust me.
Yeah, that's generally when it'll happen is you'll go to a church and they don't have a keyboard, they just have an upright piano.
That's mic'd.
That's
Going
mic'd.
through the system. Turned up real loud too.
And all this time you've been playing the song in C, and you know your choir cannot sing it in C. So you always transpose it down or up or whatever, so it comes out in a lower key. So the choir's like, Jesus coming back. But then you get to this church and you got to do it in C, and your choir director's wondering why the sopranos are straining. You didn't just kill the whole service to save yourself because it couldn't come out in A because you didn't prepare yourself in A. So I would say learn the universal language, which gives you the ability to play in all 12 keys. And it's really not that hard. If you think about the circle, you should know all your primary chords. You know, just circle 3 notes. That's your primary chords in the middle key. Why use the transpose button? Circle these 3, bam, that's your primary chords in A flat. So what I'm saying is there's no excuse to not be prepared to play in all 12 keys, right? So, and that separates what?
It separates everyone. I mean, when you limit yourself to playing in certain keys, it's kind of like, you know, you're pretty much being lazy. I'm gonna go ahead and say it because, you know, no key is really harder to play in. I mean, every key has its notes, it has its number system, it has its chords and progression. So I think that, you know, what ends up happening is a lot of musicians get comfortable with playing in certain keys, and, you know, it ends up being where, you know, they are scared to go to other keys. Like, you know, I found that a lot of black gospel contemporary musicians like to play in the black keys. But then you have a lot of musicians that play CCM styles, and they're in all the white keys. and they have a harder problem playing in the black keys. So it's just a matter of what you're more familiar with, but you know, the key thing is just to get more familiar with the keys. There isn't really a hard key to play in. It's just a matter of getting familiar with it. And once you get familiar with the number system, the scales, the chords and progressions, then, you know, that's the keys to the city, and that's the systems that we teach here in the Gospel Music Training Center.
Absolutely. I'm told that we might have a caller that's coming through, so we'll see about that. And maybe that'll be like our last caller, because we're about to wrap things up. But yeah, that's definitely the key. It frees you up. I would say, if I always say 3x12 principle. I always say if you could take 3 songs from the Gospel Music Training Center, 3, you know, moderately diverse songs. You know, they're not just playing the 1-4-5. Maybe they're getting into many of the tones of the scale. And if you could pretty much take 3 songs and play in all 12 keys, I bet you that you would have developed pretty much the ability to play in all 12 keys freely. Like if you could do that, that's like the end result. Yeah. Especially if you're thinking in terms of numbers, right? If you're just memorizing a song, that's one thing. But if you're like, okay, I'm on the 1, I'm on the 6, I'm on the 2, and you can do that in all 12 keys, you would have learned all the chords that exist in each of the keys. And that's pretty much the freedom that you're looking for. And sheet music, if you think about it, sheet music is like playing in one key, because you're getting that song in one key, and unless you take music theory, you're not really knowing what's going on, because you're so focused on playing it the way it is. You're not sitting back and saying that's a 1-4-2-5-6-1. No. Some people have that ability. If they took music theory and they can transpose those notes like right then and there. I mean, I don't know how people do that. Like trumpet players would do that, because the music they'd have to play in concert. Yeah. So it's like they would have to like transpose in their heads. I played clarinet when it came to sheet music. So what was written is what I played. But like it's hard. It's hard enough to read the thing exactly the way it is, but to transpose it and know what you're doing.
That's a good point, because, you know, you're right. When you're reading sheet music, you're just pretty much reading what's there. So it's almost like you're being told what to play, you know, all throughout a song. So it's a possibility that you don't really know what chord progression you're playing or none of that. And I've seen that, you know, you would think that some musicians that know how to play sheet music, you know, really understand theory, but that's not always the case.
That's right. And some musicians that read sheet music aren't even connecting the chords to the lyrics. Like if somebody said, hey, start that song when they say this, and they would be like, I don't know.
But some don't even know what chords they're playing at all. I mean, they know how to read them and, you know, and everything, but what type of chord they're playing, you know, they don't know.
Who wants to be brave out there and admit that you started with sheet music and you can play the notes as written, but you really don't know every chord when those notes come together to sound a chord at once? You don't even know what it is. Who wants to be brave and actually admit that? I know we have a call. Do you know what line it is?
Now, I want to say that we're definitely not telling you not to learn how to read music. Because, you know, that's definitely, there's benefits to that. But what we are saying is that when you understand, you know, theory and how music works, it gives you more freedom to play in all 12 keys, to play what you feel, and just, you know, play, you know, anything pretty much.
Yeah, like that's exactly what I said. If you could do both, ultimately, you were like unstoppable, right? Yeah. Like that's like what superhero that has all the tools and gadgets, you know, Iron Man or something.
Yeah, you could pick up any book, you know, you can learn classical, because if you understand how music works, you can pick up a book and read classical music and see the patterns within everything, and then, you know, you can instantly add it to your plan, because there's patterns in all styles of music, and once you pick up on those patterns, then, you know, you're limitless, you know, in the possibilities.
Right. Even like some of the real high-level gospel musicians, they'll go to Bach and Mozart and pull out. You think like don't sleep on Mozart and Bach and Beethoven and, you know, the 1700 cats. Because they was doing some stuff back then. But when you understand both sides of it, you're like, whoa, like even like is it the Prelude in C, Bach or something? It's like
all that stuff is
the classical people tell me what it is, but it's like the Prelude in C or something. But he like goes to like a diminished, like it's in the key of C, but he'll go to like the sharp five and put together a voice in that I actually brought into some talk music and gospel. And it was smooth, but I knew what he was doing. I was like, wow, that's a really cool way to do that, diminished chord or that augmented chord on a sharp five. I'm taking Bach, now I'm picking out the notes one by one because I'm not a sight reader, but I know the notes. Yeah. So I'm picking it out, but I'm able to apply my universal language to that and now benefit from both worlds. This person over here has no idea what Bach is doing. This person over here don't even know who Bach is. And then, so to be able to mesh those two things is probably the ultimate way to be.
Yeah, and then after a while, you can also hear the patterns. It's not even just a matter of getting the new techniques from certain things. But once you start to listen to music, you're going to start to recognize patterns over and over and over. And once you do that, like I said, you can pretty much play anything. But the key is to first, know the patterns and know the fundamentals and then unlock them with your ears too as well.
Absolutely. Okay, our last caller is on line 2. All right, I am told that we have a live caller on line number 2. Who am I speaking with here?
Martin Johnson.
Brandon Johnson.
Martin.
Martin Johnson. Hey, you were speaking with Jermaine and JP.
Hey, what's up, Martin?
Hey, JP, how you doing? How you doing, Jermaine?
Pretty good.
I'm blessed, man. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you very much.
Well, we appreciate you for calling in, man. What do you want to say to the people out there that are live and the people that are going to hear the replay? What do you got to say?
Well, I want to say that the way that you guys teach, it's invaluable. It is so tremendous. I mean, I was just telling one of the young ladies on mine that about 27 years ago, we didn't have an organist at our church, and my pastor gave me a keyboard and said, "Here, play."
Here, play.
Never took a lesson. And it went through some pains and some really hard times, but I had to stick with it because she stuck with me. So I was playing, but I never understood what I was playing. But I knew I could remember the keys, or I could remember the chords, so I could play. And then eventually I started learning how to play in every key. But because of you guys' program, now I understand what I'm playing.
Wow.
It's a huge difference now. So I understand. And I never knew that the key or the chords or the scales and numbers. So, I mean, you have 1 through 7. And just the breakdown of the musician transformation when I saw the first part of it, because I missed the last one that you did, when I saw the first part of it, and you were doing the circle of fifths, and you was explaining, the first note, the first chord was a major, the second one was a minor, the third one was a minor, the fourth one was a major, the fifth one was a major, the sixth one was a minor, and the seventh was a diminished. I was like, it's like a light bulb went off in my head. This is impossible. You're right. A lot of the musicians, I'm in Philly, and a lot of the musicians, when you ask them, can you show me this, can you show me that, they don't want to do it. It's like I was asking them for their firstborn or something.
Wow.
It's a little crazy.
Wow.
But I just wanted to thank you guys. I'm a lot older than you all, and I've been playing for like 27, 28 years or something like that.
Wow.
And I'm just starting to understand what I'm playing.
Wow.
I wanted to thank you guys for introducing this stuff. It's really been tremendous for me, and it has opened my eyes. And now I can teach somebody else. Because people ask me, can you teach me how to do this? Can you teach? I said, I don't know how because I don't understand what I'm playing. I just know how to do it.
Right.
But now I understand it.
Wow. I couldn't have asked for a better person, Martin, to end us tonight than your story there. 27 years. I mean, that's pretty much all of JP's life there.
Just about.
But but that's wisdom there. That's I can't wait to say, I've been playing for 27 years, coming up on it. But I mean, and then to hear your story about just in the recent years, putting labels and names and systems and principles behind that, which now not only allows you to understand it and apply it in a different way and to take things to the next level, but you're teaching, and there's no better joy than being able to pass that on, which, the teacher learns more than the student. You probably realize it too. You know, because you retain 90% of what you teach, only 10% of what you read. So you're putting yourself even in a better situation by understanding what you're doing. And that just warms my heart to hear everything that you've said on this line tonight. And I want to encourage you to keep at it. And thank you for encouraging us. Yeah. And this is just a big old circle, man. And I appreciate you for calling in and encouraging everybody listening here. So keep on keeping on, Brother Martin in Philly.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate you guys.
All right, we appreciate you too. And stay tuned. I'm going to have you go back to Brian, and they'll just thank you a little more, and just really, we appreciate this. You take care.
You do the same. Thanks.
All right.
Man, that was awesome, huh?
That was great.
I could take calls all night, but we're not going to do it. But
let's take one more.
You want to take one more? Well, we got to see if I see like 4-1? 4 dropped off, but 1 is still here. Let's see who's on 1. David Santiago. His name is very familiar. Hey, David, how are you, sir?
Hey, what's up, David?
How's it going, man?
Pretty good.
It's such an honor to speak to you guys.
Man, we are blessed. How are you?
Oh, I'm great now. I'm great.
Well, it's great to hear from you. What do you want to say to all the people listening, to us, to whomever?
Listen, first of all, I just want to thank you guys. You truly blessed my life, as well as my church's ministry. I started at a church, and I've taken what you taught me, and I was able to start a worship team. I was able to teach, organist and a guitar player using the number system that you taught. I was able to teach them. And, I just want to say to those people listening out there, gospel musicians, GMTC is the place for you. Whether you're looking for songs to play, if you're trying to understand theory, they have videos even about Christmas songs. Anything you're looking for. There's nothing else like it out there. And I just really appreciate what you guys are doing. I know that, I've been with Gospel GMTC for a while. I've seen you guys grow, and I truly believe that God is going to bless this ministry. I just really quickly want to say thank you, JP.
Oh, man, no problem.
I constantly bug him, and I ask him little questions, what are you using, what are you doing, and he always replies. So, I just want to let the people know out there that these guys are really trying to do good. They are here to help you. They're not here, and they're not selfish. So, I just wanted to say thank you.
Man, we appreciate the good feedback, and we're always here for you anytime, man.
Absolutely. As soon as I seen you on the caller ID, I said, I know David Santiago. Yeah. And not all members, take advantage of the resource. Some members we know by name because we see them. They reach out, they come to the live trainings, they ask questions, and then other members, they're okay with, just logging in and doing their own thing. But we definitely know who you are, and we definitely know that you take your craft seriously, and that's encouraging, that's inspiring to us when we see, the material being consumed. It's one thing to produce it, it's another thing to know it's being consumed, and you, David, are one of our master consumers, and not only that, you're passing it forward, which is a theme we've been hearing, people passing it forward because they know the language now to match up with what they've been doing already or what we're teaching them. So thank you so much, sir, for taking time out to call in and to be a live voice here to all the people listening. Thank you, and God bless you. And you keep up the great work yourself.
All right, man. Talk to you later.
All right. Take care, David. All right. And put David. I got another one, or that's it? One, let me see. Line 2, no, I think they might be talking. Well, I think we've exceeded our time here. It's been fun. People calling in from all over. Thank you guys so much. To anybody on the fence, it's your last chance. I would go ahead and get the collection. It's 12 discs. It's 5 courses in one. It'll get you a membership in GMTC, the Gospel Music Training Center, and from there, you can stay as long as you want and benefit from that vast, comprehensive resource. And then what we'll do is we'll play just because we love our movies so much. We're not actors, but when you're not an actor,
I felt like I did pretty good on that one.
You was a standout. You was a standout for sure. JP has him like every time I see JP, he was running and dashing through the forest and jumping and diving, and it was a great experience. So. For anybody that didn't see it, came on late, we'll like end with that, and we'll show the bloopers and things like that. But thank you guys so much for joining us. I know this was just like more a talk versus last month, which we had musicians in here and bass players and drummers, and we got it. We had church. We had church here in this office pretty much 5 nights of the week. This was the opposite. It's like a sit down, fireside chat kind of thing. But thank you guys nonetheless for being with us for 2 hours tonight. So. We call him the professor of fatness, not F, but PH fatness. Fatness because when you play those chords the way JP plays them, people say, man, that's fat. Show me that. And then he started gaining weight, and I started calling him the real professor of fatness.
Hey man, love food, man.
But anyway, however you see him, this is the man, and so he is the one that you'll have most exposure to in GMTC, and so. Only right for him to close us out tonight. So, JP, thanks for being with us, and what you got to say to the people?
Well, welcome to all the new members. Feel free to contact me if you have any questions at all. Like David said, I'm here for you. Don't hesitate. We also do live training every other week, so make sure you take advantage of that. I mean, there's so many resources from, live training to, theory to songs if you want to learn songs. I don't think you talked about it. We have backing tracks too as well. Mm-hmm. So if you want to practice to some of these songs, we also produce tracks for you to practice with. And, if you want to use them at your church and play, the songs at your church, if you don't have a full band, you can take advantage of that too as well. So this is, a revolutionary resource, and we always want to make this better and better every year. So stay tuned. We're going to be doing more and more new things, live events and different things like that. So stay tuned, and I hope you enjoy what you see.
All right, well, with that, signing off. This has been a Hear and Play exclusive.
Yes.
And I'm Jermaine.
I'm JP.
And remember,
if you can hear it,
you can play it.
Yeah.
All right, so next up is our movie.
Man, that was a good round.
Yes, sir. Better than last week's round. We're getting better, though, man.
Yeah, that's how we do it when we play.
Yes, sir. I just wish more people showed up, man. Just you and I from the office today.
What you trying to do? Trying to get everybody into fitness. We do music at Hear and Play.
We do music, but we're trying to impact the world, and to do that, you got to look good. You got to feel good. I agree.
So what's up with the Musician Transformation Lunch?
I've been meaning to talk to you about that. We need to do the next video. People are enjoying it, they're loving it, but we got to keep it moving forward.
Yeah, I saw the first video, man. I got some stuff for the second one, so.
Let's do it. Let's pump some weight and then get to it, man.
Let's do it.
Oh, it's getting hard, man.
Come on, man. You got it? Give me 3 more.
Nah, man, I can't.
Come on, man.
I can't,
Give me 3
man.
more. Push it. Push it. Push it. Push it. Push it.
1.
Come on, man.
All right, man.
You wouldn't let our students give up. Our Hear and Play students.
All right, last one, man.
1 more. Come on. Get it up. Get it up. Get it up. Get it up. Yeah.
Whew.
Now, that's music to my ears.
Man, those chords sound real good, man. I'm gonna have to get those from you. So this is what the guys at the office were working on. It's like the lesson we're thinking about releasing, and I was just thinking maybe you could take a look at it.
Sure.
When, right? Another whole step. Why won't he wear white? When? And then lastly, the very last interval, hot, right? That's a half step because of why won't he wear white? When? Hot.
Man, this is really good.
You think so?
Yeah.
Well, I think this Hear and Play video will be a hit then.
Man, Musicians Transformation is really going to change the way people look at music, the circle of fifths, and everything. Man, I'm really excited.
Me too, man. Let's put it up then.
Let's do it.
Ah,
You expecting somebody?
nah, not at all. I'll check that out then.
Okay. I got to make a call anyway, so I'll see you.
Hey, man, how can I help you?
You're Jermaine Griggs, Hear and Play Music?
Yeah, that's me. How do we know each other?
You know my cousin, lived down the street. John?
John Franklin over there in the corner.
Right, John Franklin. That's me. That's my family.
Wait. No, John Smith lives on the corner.
Right, John Franklin Smith. He lives right around the corner here. That's my family. He told me to come to you if I need anything.
Ah, well,
Any friend of his is a friend of mine. Is it true?
Well, what can I do for you?
Well, you can do a lot for me today. You can help me out big time if you don't mind. I was driving around here and I ran over a rock, a really sharp rock, and it punctured my tire. It's flat. I don't know what to do now. I'm stuck and I can't go anywhere. So if you could possibly take a second out of your day and call AAA for me, or maybe if you have some tools, maybe we can fix it somehow or something.
Would you need a jack?
A jack will work. Anything. I'm not a car person. I really don't know. I just need to get up and get out of here.
Okay, well, why don't you come in? You said John
Franklin Smith, right.
Okay, well, I'll check for a jack. If I can't find one, I'll call AAA. But hey, just hang out here and I'll be right back, okay?
All right, thank you. Thank you.
Hey man, I wasn't able to find a jack, but I'm gonna call AAA for you, so it should be just a second. Hey yo, are you there? JP! Dude, we've been robbed, man.
What happened?
I don't know, this dude, he showed up in the front, he took Musician Transformation.
Who?
I don't know, but the office is ransacked and he's got it.
Oh my goodness, man, we got this lunch coming up, man. We're gonna be doing this if we don't find him.
But he left his keys.
Well, he can't be that far then.
That's right, he can't be far, he's gotta be on foot.
Well, let's go get him.
Let's go. Where's the hell, thing? I get that way. Man, where could he be?
Wait, is that him?
Yeah! know, man.
I think it went that way. What do you think you want?
I don't know, man. Maybe that way.
You know what? Let's split up. I'm gonna go this way.
Yeah. That's it. It's all here. Okay, good.
Lost him. Found you!
Hey man, you alright? You alright? We got him.
That was music to my ears, man.
It looks like they're all here.
Why'd you do this?
Isn't it obvious? I mean, why would you want to give away something for free that we've worked all our lives to obtain? You want to give it to people easy, all step by step and formulaic so they can apply a principle and come up with the answers. We had to work hard day and night, hours and hours and hours of time and practice, blood, sweat, and tears. You want to give it away to them for free? Are you serious? No. In my world, you work hard for what you want. You just don't have it given to you. And that's what you're doing. Of course I'm jealous. Why wouldn't I be? You put 10 years worth of knowledge and practice and information into one set of DVDs. Of course I wanted to destroy them and destroy your master copy. Why would I want it to get out? Why would I want other people to be as good as me? It's a dog-eat-dog world out there.
Man, you selfish.
You're crazy.
Look, man, I'll be darned if I let you or anybody who believes what you believe stop our vision to change the way musicians learn gospel music.
Now that's music to my ears.
Keep your hands in the air. Walk backwards towards the sound of my voice.